This is our first video. What we're trying to do today, and really for here on out, is trying to show some videos of our homestead and how you can do it without being like some of these other groups that are on their videos, you know, basically picking up their lives, going out into the middle of nowhere, completely cutting everything off, not really having a job, you know, from working Monday through Friday kind of thing. We have a homestead. I have a full-time job. I work 40 hours a week. I am lucky enough to be able to stay home some days through the week, so it allows me to get some of my chores done that I need to. But really, we just want to kind of inspire anyone that's kind of thinking of doing a little more hard work, putting a little effort in, knowing that it's okay to fail. We've failed plenty as we've been here, but I just kind of wanted to give you an intro on our story and what we're got in progress to do for the coming spring and summer once we finally cool or warm up. Really, right now it's all just about chopping wood and keeping the house warm with the wood burning stove. But all of this started probably, I think it was 2013. We had the idea to build our own home, which is we got a pole barn kit and built it and had everything put together and did everything with just family and friends, you know, everybody chipping in, helping out. It was a much cheaper route to take, obviously, than building your own house kind of thing. And especially even with like these tiny homes and stuff that you see on HGTV and all that good stuff. I mean, it's just ridiculous that people are paying so much for all these high-end items when they're trying to get off the grid. So we got the pole barn kit. That was a experience on its own. My wife and I, we already had one child and another one on the way. So she was pregnant, so that kind of put us on a timeline, which is never good. Never put a timeline on anything you do in a homestead, because there's always going to be bumps in the road that are going to slow you down. Just set a goal and get it done without rushing yourself. That's probably one of our first lessons learned. So we were living in a trailer and renting it for the time. And then to save money so we could put it all into this house, we decided to move in with my parents, which was fun all in itself, with your wife being pregnant, trying to build a house, also working, and having a 2-year-old child at the time. So long story short, we didn't get the house done in time, and our second child, Raylan, was born. And so we kind of halted. We did little pieces as we could to try to get things ready, but of course our attention was just surrounded by our daughter. So we kept chugging along, trying to get the dream done, and then I ended up getting a job in North Carolina that really obviously halted everything and pretty much everything that we wanted to do. We didn't know that we would even ever come back here. Thankfully, about a year later, I was able to find a job here in Kentucky, about 45 minutes from where we are. So that worked out well. We got back, basically gave my family and friends 2 weeks to make the house livable. It's crazy what happens when people are dying to get you back and really want to help. You know, you can really get things done in a fast amount of time. But we're forever grateful for those folks that helped out. When we left, we had installation on the outside walls. We had put the floor in, but we had not built any interior walls, hadn't put any electric in, anything. It was basically just a shell. So they rushed and got the insulation done. We got the interior walls done and all the electric run. And so, yeah, speaking of that, you know, part of our homestead, we're not full off the grid yet. We would like to be, but we do have electric. We did all the wiring and everything ourselves. Got it passed and approved and all that good stuff. We do have running water, which was a new thing that we just did. But we have composting toilets, wood burning stove, and then several failed attempts at animals and vegetables and all that fun stuff. But you have to make mistakes to learn how to actually do it the right way, I guess. So we got back, everything was great. We've been pushing forward, just little things. Every aspect of the house we did, or family and friends helped us do. It's very rewarding, but it's a lot of hard work. So once we got here, we decided, you know, it's time to live the dream. We're finally here. We moved back in Thanksgiving, and then immediately winter hit. And we underestimated how cold an all-tin house can get. So it was a pretty rough first winter. The wood burning stove did the best it could, but that 10, you know, it's basically if the sun's out, you're warm. If it's behind the clouds, it's cold, because that 10 just gets so cold or so hot, which is another factor within the summer. So we've been insulating so much, so this winter it's not near as bad. We're actually staying very warm. I mean, it never got to where it was freezing, but definitely had some cold nights. So some of the stuff we've been doing while we've been here, we've had chickens 2 times now. The first round we had about 30 or 40, and that was the massacre of 2014, I believe. There was something got in. We kept capturing raccoons and cats and everything, but we think there's a weasel around here, which are just so hard to catch. Ended up killing all of our chickens, so that was the first round. We got a bunch more, and it happened again. So, you know, as much as you can guard your coop without having really fencing all the way through your land, and you know, that barbed wire that's covered underneath, so if they start digging, they'll go away. And that's really the only way to try to really keep predators out. I mean, we do everything we can. I completely redo it anytime there's any kind of show of something trying to get in, but eventually they just get in. So one thing that we've learned from having chickens and those failed attempts is this spring we're gonna fence in all of our land, really make a barricade for our animals, and have them a little more safety so we can get chickens again and try for the 3rd time's the charm aspect. We do have 2 ducks. Nothing's bothered them. They're good, healthy. That was one of those things that the kids and the wife wanted, and I'm the only one that sees them, but they're all right. They're cool. I'll be glad when we can get them loose and have them hanging out in the pond in the back. We had 2 pigs at one time too. It was our idea that we was gonna get 2 pigs, and then we would raise them till we can harvest them, and then have all that pork in the deep freeze. That was a bad experience as well. At the time, we didn't have running water up here either, so I was basically just hauling out 5-gallon buckets from our rainwater that we had, because I did not have the setup to have that rainwater catch from where they were, which is another mistake. Always have rainwater barrels by your animals. It's just easier than having to worry about water hose, and especially if you don't have access to that water easily, set it up right there. You can keep them watered real quick. But anyways, I was carrying out 5-gallon buckets just constantly trying to keep these pigs keep their nutrition up with the water, but it was just a mess. They continuously broke out of their pen. Then one night it was bad. They were going to the road, so we ended up having to make a decision to end it then, too early. So that was another mistake that we made, but now we know more and we've learned, and so we may try to do that again. I still vote no, because they're just some smelly animals. Pigs are not my forte. So we do have 2 dogs and a cat as well. They're nuts. The cat, which you'll see a picture of her, she was an outside cat. We have a lot of barn cats around here, but this one, I guess, was from a home. She came up one day on the porch and never left, and then it got cold, so she pretty much decided herself she's going to come inside. So we now have a cat, and she's crazy. Our dog is huge. He's about 120 pounds, and he's just a little over a year old, so he's still just a ginormous puppy, but he gets in everything. Then, like I said, I have a wife, Jennifer, and 2 kids, Raylan and Wyatt, and this is our Stivers homestead. So that's kind of our story. Moving forward, what we're going to do in the spring, like I said, we're going to fence in the yard, redo our chickens. We're going to build a greenhouse. I hate weeds, and we do a lot on the weekends. We have a side-by-side, so we like to go out and get away, get even further into the woods. So the garden always just got out of hand on me. I mean, we always usually have a successful garden, but just by the end of summer, you know, everybody's kind of exhausted from pulling weeds. So we are going to build a greenhouse this spring. So that'll be nice. We can have vegetables all year round and have raised beds, so we don't have to worry about those weeds issues as bad. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing this coming up spring. right now it's just I just got done. Let's see if I can figure it out. Right now I just got done splitting up all the wood for the week. It's real wet. You know, it's getting late in the year where all that seasoned wood's starting to go away, and we're having to cut fresh wood and split it. And so it's having to cut up into small chunks, keep that good fire roaring. But other than that, I mean, I think that's the gist of our story. I hope you all come back and see some of the progress that we do, and check out the fencing part and the greenhouse, and then also, you know, the arrival of all the animals that we'll probably get this summer and spring. And yeah, so we'll start sharing more about the house, some pictures and videos and all that good stuff. So we'll catch you then. Thanks for listening. Hi. So this is the family.
Hello.
Wyatt, Raylan.
What's your name?
Steven.
You're not Steven. Look at the camera.
I am Steven.
Okay, she's Steven. Who are you?
Wyatt.
Who are you?
Jennifer.
I am Steven.
I'm Zach. Y'all have already heard from me. We just want to introduce the family.
Yeah.
We're excited for y'all to be watching our channel and seeing all the progress that we do, and hopefully get some good ideas for your own homestead, or decide to make one all in general. Y'all have anything else y'all want to tell them?
Guys, you know, that I always play with you guys.
That's him. Hey. Well,
Wyatt watches a lot of YouTube videos, so he's excited. He wants fans.
Here's this guy.
Yeah, there's Rusty. That's the big one.
Yeah. But his actual name is Zeus, but we call him Lefty now.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Ah.